Ladies and gentlemen, Jump Festa is about 50 days away, and it's gut check time. I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling about the chances of a new Yu-Gi-Oh anime. I'm going to recap what's happened this year in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime space, and we're going to hear from you guys in the comments as well. You guys know it's real. I've never done this. The good luck dog. Yu-Gi-Oh 9. Yu-Gi-Oh 9. Yu-Gi-Oh 9. Yu-Gi-Oh 9. Hello, everyone. It's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Jump Festa is the event where dreams are made and nightmares also come true. Last year at Jump Festa, it was basically confirmed that Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush would be the final Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, for now at least. We knew Go Rush was ending before the event started, and there was no new announcement. It was a brutal night for many of us Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime fans, and we are now in the midst of the unknown. We don't know when we're getting another Yu-Gi-Oh! Show. We don't know if we're getting another Yu-Gi-Oh! Show. And it's been a really, really tough 7 months and just a tough year for us Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime fans. I've got the good luck dog, Liza, the American Hairless Terrier. She is just as pumped as I am. She is ready to go. She wants another Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. Don't you, Liza? Okay, I think she actually wants to go down. I'm going to put her down. All right, there you go. Before I get to my own opinions on whether or not we should be really, really optimistic or pessimistic about a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Show announced in 50 days at Jump Festa, and of course we will be live for that December 19th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I just want to recap how the year has gone. When Jump Festa came and went, there were a lot of people that said, well, we have Anime Japan, maybe they'll announce something at this next turn thing, maybe they'll announce something at Duelist Live Kingdom, which was a big concert they did in Japan around June or July, I can't remember, I think it was July, where a bunch of artists that have performed Yu-Gi-Oh! Openings and endings performed live. Actually, a really, really cool event that, of course, was region locked and VPN locked. So, you know, if you didn't live in Japan and couldn't attend live, you basically got the middle finger. But it was a really cool event nonetheless. And the thought was they've never really done something like this before. Maybe they'll announce something there. Well, as Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush came to an end and we got nothing, as Anime Japan came and went, and we got nothing, as Next Turn came and went, and we got nothing, and as Duelist Live Kingdom came and went, and we got nothing, it was just one continuous letdown after another continuous letdown for any inkling of a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Show being worked on. And here we are, late October, 50 days out from Jump Festa, really the last hope for a while that we are going to get another Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. I don't want to be grim, but if we don't get something revealed at this year's Jump Festa, the earliest start time for a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Show is probably April 2027, which is a year and a half away, and that's not a guarantee either. So this is a massively important Jump Festa. There was one really cool thing that did happen that maybe turned the tides a little bit for us optimists hoping for a little bit of good news. A few months ago, I got a report written by one of the largest banks in Japan, and I was not able to share this report. I still am not able to. It's a proprietary report. Legality reasons, I can't share it. I'm not going to put myself, my family, and this whole channel in jeopardy. But I did send it to a couple of trusted friends and people in the community who confirmed its legitimacy. And this bank report wrote whether you should buy or sell Konami stock in the next couple of years. And ultimately, they said that one of the biggest catalysts for Konami in the next 2 years will be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Reboot. Two things here. The first, this is an opinionated report. However, it is written by a very large bank, and usually what happens in these situations is the higher-ups in the banks talk to the higher-ups at certain companies, they gather the tea leaves, if you will, and then they write a report based on what they've heard. And so this report predicting a Yu-Gi-Oh! Reboot, while it's of course not 100% factual or confirmed, they're not going to make an opinion like that without having a little bit of basis to make that opinion, if that makes sense. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the term Yu-Gi-Oh! Reboot is very, very vague. Does Yu-Gi-Oh! Reboot refer to the card game? Does it refer to the anime? Does it refer to you know, who the heck knows? It could refer to a bunch of different things. It doesn't specifically say Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime reboot. It just says Yu-Gi-Oh! Reboot. But that has been the only positive and the only optimistic thing we as Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime fans have gotten the entire 2025 calendar year. So, how should you feel about the chances that a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime is announced at Jump Festa? I'll just go through my feelings. I'm a very optimistic person. I'm also pretty pragmatic. I genuinely do feel like it's a 50-50 coin flip. I don't feel overwhelmingly great about the chances that we get a new show. The main reason is they've just been so quiet about a new show. Like when we had the break between Vrains and Sevens, they at least let us know that, hey, we're working on something, we'll reveal it later in the year. We haven't gotten anything like that. The only thing we've gotten from Konami is, please continue to support the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. And that in of itself is vague and is kind of a nothing message in my opinion. So the lack of communication on their end certainly makes me very nervous. But that being said, I still think that a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime has a lot of value. I think it can pull people back into the franchise. I think it can maybe get newer fans into the franchise, especially the younger demographic. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a continuously aging demographic. I think it's important to try to get some younger fans into the, you know, bloodstream of Yu-Gi-Oh!, if you will. Now, that's tough because the card game is so freaking complicated, so I don't know how they would do that. I think the Genesis format is aiming to, you know, help with that, but the Genesis is only a TCG format. So, you know, there's not going to be a Genesis anime unless OCG gets it, at least in my opinion. But here's the thing. I'm 31 years old. I know how my mind works. I know how my emotions work. And I've heard so many times, if you keep your expectations low, you won't be disappointed when nothing gets announced. That does not work for me at all. That is complete BS for me, at least. Even if I was able to switch my brain to say, we're not going to get anything. If we don't get anything at Jump Festa, I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to be maybe even a little bit devastated, whether I was expecting to get something or not. So that's why I say, screw it, man. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be pumped. I'm going to be excited. And I'm going to try to will the universe to give us another Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. I believe in the power of optimism. I believe in the power of positivity. And really for me, even if I'm not being optimistic, if we don't get anything at Jump Festa, I'm going to be upset either way. So why be negative about it leading up to it? I'm going to be optimistic, but the pragmatic part of me says it really is like a 50-50 chance. I know the cards are kind of stacked against us here, but you know, maybe it's a situation, hey, Takahashi's tragic passing, they had to take a year to kind of reset and figure out what direction they wanted to go in, and now they'll be ready to reveal something. And by the way, dude, if you have not watched the Rush shows, you have not seen a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime episode in 6+ years. Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains ended a little over 6 years ago. Give us a show that displays Master. Give us a show that displays Rush, that combines the two. Release Rush worldwide, please. And I think there's still a lot of great things that a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime could bring and could do. And we just gotta hope for the best. And yeah, I wish I could come on here and say, oh, I think we're definitely getting an announcement. Here's why. Konami's been alluding to... No, it really isn't the case. So I don't want to mislead people, but like, I'm going to say optimistic, I'm going to say positive, and we'll of course be streaming the whole thing. Comment your thoughts down below, because next month when we're 30 days out, I am going to be reading a bunch of your comments. It's going to be kind of a pulse of the community video. We're going to see how people are feeling about Jump Festa, and I'm not calling this Road to Yu-Gi-Oh! 9, because I'm not going to be so arrogant as to think we are definitely getting a Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 in December. But I'm going to hope, I'm going to believe. Let's freaking go. Let me know all your thoughts down below. It's certainly been a tough year for Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime fans, but let's hope it ends in the most marvelous, magnificent way possible. Fingers crossed. Thank you guys all for watching. I'll talk to you down below, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.